pegawai-pegawai akademik, Tan Sri, Dato, Datin, dan para hadirin yang dihormati sekalian. Untuk memimpin bacaan doa pada malam ini, pihak majlis mempersilakan Ustaz Muhammad Nur Hisham Nordin dari Pusat Islam Universiti Putra Malaysia untuk memimpin bacaan doa. Dipersilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Ila hadratin Nabiyil Mustafa Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Al-Fatihah. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Arrahmanir rahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa dhurriyyatina qurrata a'yun waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Allahumma rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Allahumma inna nas'aluka 'ilman nafi'a wa nas'aluka qalban khashi'a wa nas'aluka yaqinan sadiqa wa nas'aluka dinan qayyima wa nas'aluka 'amalan salihan wa nas'aluka khairan katsira. Allahumma ya Hannan, ya Mannan, ya Badi'as samawati wal ard, ya Dzal Jalali wal Ikram. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, segala puji-puji bagimu ya Allah. Selawat dan salam ke atas junjungan besar Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ke atas ahli keluarga baginda dan para sahabat semuanya. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, dengan rahmat-Mu, Engkau berkatilah majlis kami pada malam ini. Sejahterakanlah majlis kami dengan cahaya-Mu, ya Allah. Lindungilah kami dari kehidupan yang melalaikan, keburukan, persengketaan, wabak penyakit dan sifat-sifat yang boleh menjerumus kami kepada kebinasaan. Allahumma ya Razzaq, ya Fattah, ya Alim. Berikanlah kami petunjuk yang berterusan, permudahkanlah segala urusan kami, kerana Engkaulah yang maha memudahkan segala urusan. Jadikanlah pertemuan kami pada hari ini pertemuan yang memberikan manfaat, bertukar idea dan pandangan dalam mewujudkan budaya pendidikan ke arah kemapanan pendidikan. Kau terangilah hati kami dengan cahaya petunjuk-Mu, sebagaimana Engkau menerangi bumi dengan cahaya matahari. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adzaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Taqabbalallahu minkum.
Majlis mengucapkan terima kasih di atas bacaan doa sebentar tadi. Hadirin sekalian, majlis dengan ini mempersilakan Yang Berhormat Dato Seri Idris Jusoh dan Yang Berbahagia Profesor Dato Seri Nur Azlan Ghazali untuk sesi dialog TN50. Dengan segala hormatnya, majlis menjemput dan mempersilakan.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Salam negaraku Malaysia. Apa khabar semua? Dah makan belum? That's tak apa, memang kita kurang makan kan. We academicians, we don't eat that much. Oh, semua ada sandwich, okay lah. Okay, that's what you take for dinner. Sometimes ada orang tak makan dinner, so okay, well fine. Jadi malam ni, okay, I'm a moderator. I have to moderate this TN50. Not dialogue, I don't know. They call it dialogue, ya? Tak ada. Hah?
Sesi dialog.
Mana?
Tu dekat banner. Atas.
Oh, tak betul ni. Okay. More of seeking opinion rather than a dialogue. Kerana apabila Perdana Menteri melancarkan TN50, dia nak tahu sebenarnya apa itu TN50 in the perspective of academicians tonight. Biasanya saya jumpa dengan pelajar, tapi malam ni saya jumpa dengan academicians. Kerana yang lain-lain itu ramai orang nak buat. Academician tak ada orang berani. I'm lucky because I'm in the best ministry, the smartest ministry. I can seek your opinion. Anyway, I challenge you at times to come up with all sorts of things. Baru ni, you never have heard of kuda laut, seahorse. How could it improve the social, economic of the people around UMT? And Belangkas, Belangkas? Belangkas was in English, ya? Belangkas, forgotten. Horseshoe crab, okay, horseshoe crab. Kita kalau Belangkas, kita tahu lah ini Belangkas. Okay. How could it uplift the standard of living? I challenged UMT a few months back, and then they are up on track. I challenged UKM, so itu budu, itu negeri budu, itu negeri. I challenged UMK to come up with smart mamak. I was with him. UKM, okay? Yeah. Smart mamak. Yeah. To have an app for ordering food in mamak restaurant to reduce labor. Okay, tak nak buat, payah juga pasal menteri minta. So, Azlan need to go back and do it. We launched it last week. UPM, your e-cutter, keep on improving. What do you see the relevance of? I'm happy that I have smart people around me, so I look smart. So malam ni, it's more of getting your views on TN50. What is your view on TN50? I don't have to answer any question. Some smart guy, Suhaimi nak tanya soalan. I don't have to answer a question. Okay. I'm now tonight is seeking opinion. Sila tajuk dialog sila. Okay. You berani tanya soalan menteri, This guy also tak ada no holds barred in dia. Mulut apa ni? Aku panggil apa? Mulut dia tak ada stop ni. Laser. So okay, I'm not going to say much. Probably I'll invite Azlan to say a few words on his views on TN50. I'll invite Abi. Where Abi and Adiwati, okay. To say, I give you 3 minutes each and we open up to the floor. Perhaps Johan Marikan is coming tonight. Johan is coming tonight. Tak tahu nak wrap up apa, tak tahulah. If he's smarter than us, he can wrap up. If not, just ask him to keep quiet. Or just listen to us, okay? Some people think they are smarter than the others. Whatever it is, so, Lad?
Okay, terima kasih, Seri.
Okay.
You are the lucky one because you have the smartest people up there. I'm the not so lucky because I have to be here with you. If I'm in front there, then I will have more to say. So from here, therefore, I have to let others to talk. Just to share a little bit lah, Smart Mama was thrown to me while we are in Delhi.
Yeah.
So made in Delhi lah, the idea. But now we have to deliver it in Malaysia.
Must have Indian touch lah.
Indian touch. Well, we are having dosa in Delhi. But Alhamdulillah, within a few months, we are able to do it. Latest that we have about 5,000 people already download the apps. I don't know how many of you have tried that lah. Tonight, saya pun dengan, saya co-pilot. Jadi co-pilot normally dia bawa teh, dia bawa kopi, pantun sikit kan.
Jangan cakap banyak lah.
Apa dia?
Jangan kalau toke lah.
And I'm a co-pilot, so I have been in cockpit before. I understand the discipline that the co-pilot should have. Therefore, itulah peranan saya malam ni. Dan TN50 will be something very interesting for us to deliberate. Satu saja saya nak sebut sajalah. How many of you are 40 years old and below? Oh, yang depan ni bukanlah. Statistics shows that about 70% of Malaysian population today is 40 and below. Kalau kita ambil average life of a Malaysian about 74.4 years, berarti about 70% of this Malaysian hari ini will be there to witness TN50. So you guys insyaAllah panjang umur, yang lain pun boleh juga sampai mungkin.
Kenapa kalau kita baru 40.
Kita 40 ya? Kalau untuk Seri 40, saya 20 lah. That's how it is. Maksudnya lebih kurang 70% kita ambil average will having a chance to witness what happened. I mean basically whether all these deliberations can be realized or not. So I'm looking forward for the deliberation tonight as well. So see.
Okay, sudah habis dah.
Boleh lah.
Okay, okay. We can chip in any time you want. Okay.
Yeah.
Please, Abi, can I have you and both of you. Aduwati kan, mari sila come have a seat. Have a seat, yeah. Abi, you can sit here.
I can sit alone.
Okay. And Aduwati can sit a second.
I might need your help to get up after this.
Okay, boleh lah. Okay, okay. You don't look that bad, no?
Oh, thank you. I feel bad.
Okay, sila.
All right. Thank you very much, Dato Sri, for this opportunity. I must say that I'm, rather petrified because we had the last meeting, the dialogue, the roundtable TN50 with John Merrican early this year, which you organized. And from there, we came out with aspirations from the young scientists, and that's been shared with Prof. Rahab. And the reality is basically, without being accused of brown-nosing, I think a lot of our aspirations are very well encapsulated by our higher education blueprint that is extremely very well thought. I think we should really give a round of applause for this. Yeah. But of course, I think with any blueprints, I think the question is, how can we actually make it actionable and realize those aspirational states? And as rightly pointed out, that the 40-year-olds and the under 40-year-olds are really going to be part of this transformative process in the next 33 years. And sort of if you were to encapsulate what we want, I think it's just
I'll just remind you.
Yeah.
TN50 is not only going to be realized, it's not only meant for those in the year 2050. TN50 is what's going to happen after 2020.
That's right.
Because our
Lepas
selepas 2020, bukan
30 tahun
2050. Bermakna kita ada luang, bukan tak ada langsung. Okay. So, we're not taking you out of the list because you all going to experience the 2020, the post 2020.
That's right. So
Most of you are.
enjoying the ride. And so when you actually asked, and I was speaking to Daniel, and we thought about a soundbite, and I think all of us just want a good life as an academic. And life, I think, represents the first one is, I think, leadership qualities, Al, where, I must say thank you very much for, putting trust in the young, and, that's exemplified by the appointment of our Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academic, Iqbal over there. Yeah. So our aspiration,
he's young?
our aspiration. He's young. He's 37. He's 17. All right.
You are the youngest TNC, yeah?
That's right.
I didn't know that. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, that's amazing, though. Yeah. Because it really gives us hope that you see that leadership is not just one's pinnacle career, once we hope he'll become a vice chancellor, but then he can then retire, not before he retires, become a professor back again and share those, But I think giving us hope, that everybody should take on the leadership to show and really build something rather than it being an end game. The second one, I think,
But Ahli is still very young. He's only 16.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, chronological age is just a number. I mean, but this is without negating the fact that, senior academics have a role. But I think age should not just be the determining factor. Number two is integrity. I think this is also very important as we're making massive progress. I think it's very important that we look at academic integrity beyond just research misconduct, but actually what is the purpose of us as academics? What is our education goals? What are our research goals? And I think that should be realized. And in terms of F, I think we know, especially currently with the resources that we have, I think there is a need to focus. We really need to focus on specific areas and champion those areas, reflecting our resources and really setting aside personal interests. And I think this is one thing where I think a bottom-up approach doesn't work, a top-down approach stating that these are the areas that we need to work around. And I think let's see how the young academics can actually work towards that. And finally, E for excellence. I think, really despite massive progresses, and I think the KPIs have definitely helped us to achieve those progress. We need to move away from the gamification of KPIs to what are the real outcomes. So some of the translational research that you've announced recently, I think epitomizes that. I think everyone needs to know that the reason why we are academics is because we need to be useful in the context of improving real changes in the domain of knowledge and real impact in society. So let's get alive.
Okay.
Thanks.
Abi somehow sebut kata bottom up not working. I heard you were saying that. Idea daripada bawah.
No.
What do you mean by
No,
that?
what I mean is that it's really important to get a bottom-up approach, the whole idea of volunteerism and getting everyone engaged.
Oh, you support that?
I absolutely.
You're
but
for it?
I'm extremely for that, but
Okay.
it also doesn't negate the fact that there has to be sometimes top-down approaches,
Okay.
that actually define areas where, basically sometimes you can't please everybody, but ultimately make the most strategic decisions that please most people.
Because if you understand the law of gravity, what goes up must come down. Okay?
Yeah.
So you need both.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. And
Pandai Abi ni. Okay. All right, you can hear something from
Aduwati.
Aduwati.
Yeah, thank you.
You want to call somebody from the floor to come up here? Because 3 more seats available. Sure.
I think,
Yes, one name. Okay.
one name, I think we should really put this guy on the spot.
Yeah,
so
boleh.
let's get Prof. Iqbal in.
Iqbal,
And he can share his experience and stuff.
Okay.
And he fits the chair a lot better than I do, so that is one of the bases.
Okay, Aduwati, silakan.
Okay, thank you, Seri. When I was invited to attend this dialogue or discussion, I say that 2050, I'll be 40 next week. By 2050, I'll
You'll be
be
40?
73
Next week?
next week.
Oh,
So I'm
I
still
thought you
40 and
are-
below,
I thought you're
I
33,
would say.
something like that. Okay.
So anyway, 2050, I'll be 73. So TN50 is probably not much about me, but it is for my children. So I'm a woman. I'm first a mother and a wife. At the end of the day, I still go back, fetch my kids, cook dinner for them. So I think this is all about our children, what we want the best for them. What is it that we see that can fit them to be a better society, prosperous, harmonious, and sustainable. So what is it that we want that probably that all of us can share tonight? And I think as what we discussed last week during the dialogue with PM on the roundtable discussion, so we have proposed like some moonshot initiatives ataupun initiative yang we see that will be beneficial for the future society. So 3 of them, but I'm sure there are more. 3 of them could be, one is digital tsunami. We want to have a digital aware society where cybersecurity is available. We don't have to worry what our children are watching on YouTube or on the internet. And we want to make sure that everyone knows the integrity or the ethics in the internet. And number 2, we want to have a healthy and fit Malaysia. We want everyone to be healthy so that we don't have to worry that we are the most obese country in ASEAN. No, I'm not looking at you. I'm getting your support because of genetics. Okay, anyway. And the third one, okay,
No hard feeling,
must not dwell on that. Abi will be offended. And the third
Sometimes
one,
you have no choice.
and the third one is on zero waste. You know, as women, I'm sure all of us cook every day. We have so many wastes from our kitchen. So what if we turn this waste into something more beneficial? So I think these are the 4C, the moonshot initiative that I think that will benefit us, not only us, but also our children. But we would like to hear more from you all as well after this, or maybe the discussion.
4Cs, eh? 4Cs, is it?
The moonshot initiatives?
The 4Cs, is it 4Cs?
The zero waste.
No.
Zero waste.
Oh, zero
Yeah,
waste.
zero
Okay,
waste.
zero waste. Okay, itu ya. Okay.
So I want to hear more from the floor later.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Big hands to Idiawati. Okay, Iqbal says you are here. I don't know when.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Datuk Seri, hadirin-hadirat sekalian. This is very impromptu. I do not know whether to thank Abi or to... Well, we have been talking about TN50 for quite a while now. Well, in my opinion, what's important is the process of actually achieving that TN50. Similar of what we have previously with Vision 2020. And we have seen nowadays that we are not there at 2020, but see what we have achieved nowadays with, you know, buildings, KLIAs, landmarks, soaring upwards.
Jangan lupa tu, jagi. Okay. Ingat dia lupa, dia talk about buildings, and then dia lupa story apa nanti dia.
Tak boleh balik.
We have Umar as well, Datuk Seri.
Tak boleh balik, okay.
We have Umar.
I love you, Dato.
Well, we love you too.
Okay.
So what's more important here is about the process of achieving and getting to that 1050, and hopefully by 2050 we'll be there somewhere. A saying says, aim for the stars, even if you fail, you will land among the skies.
Okay.
So we'll get there. Thank you.
Aim for the stars. If you fail, you'll be among the skies. I'm trying to translate that in terms of gravity, how it works. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Still, I have to compute that. Say, in terms of physics, how does it work? Never mind.
Adawati ya? Adawati digital tsunami.
Yeah.
Antara Malaysia, Jepun dengan Ireland, mana yang lebih hebat dalam kesediaan untuk berhadapan dengan digital economy?
Digital economy. Last weekend, saya naik MRT dengan anak-anak dari Kajang pergi ke Stesen Merdeka di KL.
Oh, try LRT.
MRT baru sampai ke Kajang
World
last
class
week.
infra.
Okay.
So kita access internet ada delay sikit. So probably this is something digital tsunami yang kita perlukan for the future. Like anywhere, anytime kita boleh access internet there and then. Secepat yang kita nak. Okay, macam yang Dr. Suhaimi highlight tadi,
Nanti saya beritahu KSN dia kongsi MRT ni. Nanti hari.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
And satu lagi.
I'll message to you afterwards.
Okay. So related to my research area, because I'm in mobile and satellite communications. Kalau dalam MRT tu kita ada Li-Fi, light fidelity yang boleh access super fast, bandwidth is superb as well. So kita boleh use it at any speed. Currently MRT is probably like, I don't know what's the speed now, but the ETS is 150 km per hour, the one yang high speed train from KL to Utara. But in the future, probably our high speed rail from KL to Singapore, it will be 300 km per hour or maybe 500 in the future. So we need to have access to the internet very fast with superb bandwidth yang boleh make sure kita being connected all the time, anytime and anywhere. So to answer Datuk Seri punya question tadi tu, I think we are there, and I'm sure as researchers, especially in ICT area, we are working very hard to get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're launching, we were launching the MyRen bila? First week of September. What's bandwidth like?
100 gig to
UM, starting with UM, perhaps within 3 months, can you get to UPM?
I wish.
Oh, wish. What do you wish? Wish is not good enough. You have to, you know?
Because you see, the thing is,
Yeah.
it will trickle down to research university first.
Yeah, UPM is research, what?
What I mean, betul lah. Maknanya, of course, I'm there. I want UPM to be the second one lah.
Okay. Yeah, be the second one. You are UPM. You have a lot of UPM supporters here.
The reason saya tanya tadi,
Yeah.
because saya pun tak pernah tengok satu ranking yang baru di IMD yang kita selalu dengar, competitiveness ranking. Sekarang ni dia ada satu ranking baru, digital competitiveness ranking.
Okay.
Maksudnya dia summing up lah the readiness of a country to go toward the new era. Saya terkejut. Saya tak tahu, mungkin Adwati ataupun ramai kat atas ni boleh bagi pandangan sedikit. France, Estonia, Japan, Qatar, Lithuania, Spain is behind Malaysia. Bila Japan belakang Malaysia, saya pun tak apa was-was juga. Tapi Malaysia at number 24.
Siapa yang buat ranking tu?
Ini IMD yang selalu kita dengar ranking tu.
IMD, okay.
World Competitiveness Report,
boleh
tapi
percaya
now
lah.
dia ada World Digital Competitiveness.
Okay.
Which actually kita banyak bercakap tentang fourth industrial revolution, all the digitized punya tsunami. Kadang-kadang pandangan orang terhadap kita jauh lebih baik daripada apa yang kita sangka. Dan this is not only about infrastructure, but also talent, readiness. You know, sometimes you have infrastructure, you have Ferrari, but you don't have a driver. No point juga.
Give it to me, that Ferrari, give it to me.
Can you?
Okay. Against you, I take against you lah.
So menarik lah bagi saya tengok begini, sometimes a lot of perceptions yang kita dalam bina, tetapi people outside looking at us very differently. This one is very interesting bagi saya because I mean I thought that when people say Malaysia punya readiness, lalu dia kata boleh akses internet atau tidak lah. Dan dia kata we are very far behind. But this is quite a reputable punya way of assessing, which agak menarik juga.
Sama juga yang saya dapat maklumat daripada Daniel tadi. Apa Daniel yang survey apa tadi? You tell them. Survey apa tadi? Kita nombor satu tadi?
Kita nombor satu dunia.
Yeah.
Destinasi transnational education UK, dan kita merupakan nombor satu dunia dari segi kepercayaan ataupun trust daripada UK untuk transnational education Malaysia.
Transnational education.
Transnational education
By UK students.
by UK programs. Ni courses. So we have the quality. So they trust us to also share their quality in Malaysia. Number one. Yang keduanya, we are also the preferred education destination for UK mobility programs. So they want to send their students abroad. They are looking at us as the
Are you
number one.
telling Johan so that he give more money to us?
Oh, hello. Why not? That'll be very nice, Johan. Be good.
You buat bajet-bajet, ingat sikit kita, jangan lupa. Datang saja, hati. Johan is a big hands to Johan. Okay, Johan, berikan. Okay, kita dengar yang ramai-ramai ni. Okay, siapa nak mula dulu?
Boleh saya interject yang pasal
Oh, kau pula. Okay.
sebenarnya simple saja. Sebenarnya readiness kita memang we are ready, we are aware. We are well connected in terms of coverage. If only our speed is faster and cheaper. We are still the most expensive internet cost in the world. So by having apa yang kita buat sekarang, Datuk Seri, is going to create a scenario di mana at least student yang ada dalam campus will be euphoric about high speed bandwidth, dan di luar itself dia akan demand for that. And because of that, kita akan transform dan kita juga akan disrupt the pricing. So hopefully benda ni akan jadi. So coverage memang kita dah tune, kita dah top, dan if only that the speed will be faster and cheaper, then it will be good.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Kau cakap banyak sangat kau ni. Okay, by September you do it in UM. By end of the year you have to do it in up to UPM. Okay, that's your KPI.
Okay.
Kita cakap banyak tak guna. Okay. Okay, that's a reason for speaking too much. Okay, belakang. Siapa dah say something? Okay, sila. Ada? Are you doing something? That one standing or what? Are you holding? You holding microphone?
Ada.
Okay.
Oh, you
Okay, ujung.
baju merah.
Okay, baju merah. If you think you're loud enough, you can just shout. Orang muda ni. Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Yang Hormat Datuk Seri, terima kasih. Prof, pengurusan UPM.
Tak payahlah, cerita lah, panjang sangat.
Sebab berhemah.
Tak payah.
Okay.
Not tonight. Okay, not with me tonight. Okay.
First, terima kasih kerana memberi peluang kepada kami untuk bersama Datuk Seri minggu lepas di Felda, Sungai Tinggi Selatan for our Transnational Research Project.
Oh, tu pakai baju tu.
Tu yang pakai baju ni, e-kata minggu lepas.
E-kata.
So, saya punya aspiration for this exercise. If we talk about addressing, digital economy, industrial 4.0, and then we talk about community well-being, it is about, when you talk about translational research, addressing this quadruple helix, we work across university, ministry, community, and industries. My question is on the future of university autonomy. If you look at our playbook in governance and our higher learning talent excellence, people talk about, are we moving towards full autonomy, partnering autonomy, or guided autonomy, or is full autonomy is just a myth? What kind of autonomy yang Datuk Seri hope so that we become?
Datuk Seri kata malam ni tak ada jawapan. You tanya, you jawab.
Okay, boleh saya jawab Datuk Seri? Okay.
What that you want?
Alright.
Boleh lah, mana nak jawab boleh lah.
Bagi dia.
Okay, Datuk Seri, kita mengharapkan universities and ministries, industry and communities to work as partners. It's just that memang this is easier said than done, because if we talk about creativity, freedom of expression, it's a bit tricky if we talk about how autonomous can a university be. But my hope is so that we can become partners rather than tied up with all these the so-called bureaucratic challenges. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Very good question. Kadang-kadang saya tak nak jawab, tapi tak boleh lah. Actually, if you look at our blueprint, please read the blueprint. Blueprint says it's well written, very clear. We are moving from being a tight controller to just a policy maker and to being coordinator. It's very, very clear, and we're doing that. Sebab tu kalau lihat dahulu adanya, masa saya dulu tak ada lagi ada College Act, tak boleh cakap, tak boleh, sekarang boleh cakap. Tak boleh, you can go out and join political parties outside campus. Dah terbuka. Keterbukaannya berbeza. Autonomy, you have gone to 17 universities so far. Autonomic, the status of autonomy, and you can hire and fire on your own kind of thing. Masuk jadi 51. Then you can upgrade, naikkan pangkat your officers the way you like, bukan sebagaimana yang di luar, bagaimana in other government departments. And it's a process. It's a process. Kalau kira dulu dengan sekarang dah banyak berbeza. After that you go to the blueprint. Even we have our buku, the playbook, and how you should conduct yourself. It's very clear. Please read the blueprint. And we are following the blueprint. That's the reason why kalau kita lihat dalam buku the playbook or the blueprint, it shows very well we're moving towards greater autonomy to universities. It's not choice. We're going to do it. And we're doing it. Bukan we're going to do it, we're doing it actually. Kadang-kadang kadang-kadang masa baru ni ada sikit KSN tulis surat. I spoke KSN, okay, we cannot micromanage universities. That's why we don't want to micromanage universities, in fact. And I stick to the blueprint. So please read blueprint saying that. Memang ada dalam tu pun ada dia punya stages how. Again, please read the blueprint before you make any statement. It looks among academicians. Okay, lain. Oh, you pick up. Why not you pick up somebody to? Oh, ada wati. Siapa dia? Okay. Siapa dia orang ni?
Reza.
Rizal.
Prof.
Okay.
Reza.
Where you from? Kenal sajalah.
Saya terus saya cakap dah.
Okey.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. 50 tahun dan 30 tahun dari sekarang maknanya saya dah tak ada dah.
How do you know?
Ya sekarang saya dah umur dekat 60 dah.
So it's 60, 90 or 90 old. Some people live until 100. You look quite healthy, you know?
Alhamdulillah.
By the look lah, I mean.
Alhamdulillah.
Datuk Reza lari tiap-tiap hari.
Ni? Oi, dahsyat.
Good gardener.
Cuma saya bimbang sikit ni Datuk Seri dan juga rakan-rakan sekalian melihat pelajar-pelajar sekarang ni dia macam kurang sikit tak berhati perut lah. Misalnya pukul orang, bunuh orang kan. Dan juga based pada kan punya psychometric test, even integriti pun ada masalah. Markah integriti yang kita dapat pada pelajar yang masuk ke universiti itu agak membimbangkan kita. Lepas tu tengok pula matematik, pelajar-pelajar yang suka ambil matematik pun membimbangkan kita. Saya melihat sejarah Turki dahulu, ketika dia sebelum jatuh dulu mereka memang hebat segi sains matematik, tapi kemudian mereka meninggalkan banyak kepada yang social science lah. Jadi apabila berlaku pada kita sekarang, matematik tu sudah macam orang tak suka matematik tambahan sebenarnya kan, amat sedikit yang mengambil. Lepas tu segi values tu tak ada masalah sikit. Jadi saya nampak pada pandangan saya lah, kita kena transform sikit lah kita punya pendidikan daripada sekolah sampai universiti, supaya penekanan bukan saja kepada sains, teknologi ataupun kognitif, tapi unsur-unsur nilai kena tekankan, unsur-unsur roh kena tekankan, supaya orang yang pada tahun 20-50 tu orang yang berhemah tinggi, yang berintegriti, yang penuh tak payah banyak undang-undang lah, dia boleh jalan sendirilah kan. Itu daripada harapan saya.
Okay. Good. Terima kasih. Ada orang setuju atau tak setuju?
Ada yang share the same concern? Anyone? Ataupun
you want to call anybody, Adwati? You want to call anybody? Allow you to call anybody up there. Nak panggil siapa dia? Sudah bercakap.
Oh, call my friends. Saya nak call Wan Zuha. Wan Zuha dari UPM.
Okay.
Mana dia Wan Zuha?
Mana Wan Zuha? Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Wan.
Senang macam ni, nak cakap suruh cakap.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you and takziah lah Adwati. Okay. So Datuk Seri, maybe I can share a little bit lah. Alright. So my plan is, my vision is, I want to see something like environment in Japan. So at midnight, 12 o'clock or 12 midnight, you can see people around, and it's very safe. Okay. It's very safe. So I dream that my students, my kids, can walk anytime and very safe. So this is my dream, and I would like to see that in T2050, at that time, the environment is very safe, and hopefully that at that time, all the academicians no need to travel, from, let's say, from Kuala Lumpur to Serdang, for example. So the environment for academicians as well should be safe and then very close to the university. So it looks like we can reduce the time for the no-nonsense time, something like that. So that is my dream, for example.
Okay.
So that's my point.
Safety. Bagus kawan you ni. Safety first. Very good. Terima kasih. Tepuk lah. Okay. I see some young people down here. Okay. Sini yang muda-muda ni. In this room. Okay. Any one of you come. Give them microphone. Okay. Yang kat tangan. Okay. Yang blonde. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sri. I'm Chai. I'm from University of Malaya. I'm also a member of Young Scientists.
Okay.
Recently, I just came back from the third worldwide meeting for Young Scientists in South Africa.
Okay.
And during the visit over there and the meeting, so we actually visited one of the School of Excellence in one of the township, quite poor township, that they offer education, science education for the students. And when we were there,
Is it in Johannesburg or?
Johannesburg, yes, in Johannesburg.
Okay. Right.
So it was quite a great experience, eye-opening, and that made me wonder. Like, I mean, when I try to think, like, compare our students, our education with whatever they have nowadays, I would think that they will outbeat us. They are great, and then that's why one of the things that I think is, like, you know, our students are very good in scoring marks. Our education are very good in, like, teaching them how to score A, how to get 100% in your mathematics, in your science, but the science not really embedded in their life, in their thinking. What they know is just on the paper, how the earth looks like and things like that, but they have never been applied. So they only learn application when they come to tertiary education in university and so on and so forth. So I've even met, like, some of my friends, like, who are in social study, not really into science. They don't even know where their heart is, like left-hand side or right-hand side. Okay. Where is the stomach? That is really...
The heart is here.
So that's really like something that I think should not happen in a country where, if we want to be a developed country. So education for me is the most important. And I think science education should actually start very early. It should not be starting in the like Form 1, like 13 years old and so on and so forth. It should actually start even in preschool. So start from how they lead their life and things like that. And another thing is actually the soft skill. One thing that our students are very different compared to a lot of students from developed country is not that our students are not clever, but they are not confident. The self-esteem is low. So even when we compare our student with, like, Japan student, like, if we talk, like, if we think that English is a problem, language is a problem, it is actually not. A lot of, like, Sweden student, Japanese student, they are very, like, they have high self-esteem. Language is not a problem. So I think that is part of our education that we need to improve. So what I see is, like, in the another 30 years, so our students should be able to have a higher self-esteem, and then our education need to have, like, a little change.
Okay, good. Higher self-esteem, confidence.
Chai, you have ideas what to do first? What?
No, I think there are two things. Change will not happen immediately.
Okay.
So the first thing is that the school education need to have a certain change. Of course, nowadays we have seen quite some movement in changing, that we start to see, like, you know, assessment for learning, not of learning, where we encourage students to look at to embed it and to apply what they have learned in their daily life. But at the same time, this change, I don't see that it is a complete thing right now, because a lot of teachers nowadays, they have no idea what is assessment for learning. It is still a lot of time that we say, like, we want a high level of questions and things like that, but the question probably seems to be a high level, but it is actually still at a very low level of testing. The second thing we want to see is actually in the society is the parents. A lot of time the parents are still at the level of, like, comparing score. Like, I want my kids to have 10 A's. If they can score 20 A's, that will be better. So, but they never think, like, I mean, what is the point of assessment? What is this thing of, like, score and marks? So that is very important, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Dato' Seri, semalam kami ada buat satu perbincangan tentang Fourth Industrial Revolution. Prof. Timbalan Naik Chancellor UPSI was sharing satu yang agak begitu mengejutkan. Daripada, siapa ingat, daripada berapa puluh ribu, hanya 4 orang saja yang ambil AdMath. AdMath is no longer, is an optional subject and students are not taking it. Kalau ikut number tu saja, saya rasa macam the future is gone from Fourth Industrial Revolution perspective. Saya tak tahu, some of you mungkin dapat bagi sharing some input whether...
Just because I was the minister under KPM before. Yeah. Allow me to say that. KPM dulu cikgu sekolah ada lah. Ada sebelum masuk sini lah. Hopefully I was. Memang ada, we do have this off and fall learning. But it's still new at KPM. Under bawah program apa dulu Mary? There's a PT3. Okay, PT3, when we introduce PT3, kita tak mau belajar, kita hanya belajar and then mutahkan apa yang kita belajar. It's coming up, but of course it's going to take quite some time. I think it's being also a thinking skill through this high order thinking skill, hot question. I think is there. It's not how much is being done. I wouldn't know because I'm no more there. Okay? I can tell Mahathir Khalid to look into it.
There's a question di belakang tengah.
Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera. Saya Zahiruddin daripada Universiti Melaya. Kita sedar ataupun tidak, kita masih lagi bercakap tentang subjek, kan? Maths, science. I think since last year or last 2 years, Finland has moved on from that, and they are talking about learning by topics, and they embed everything inside the topics. So in 2050, I think we should at least try to catch up with that. Instead of still thinking about maths, thinking about how many A's, if you like. Because unless we change that perspective, teaching by certain subjects, we are not going to move away from wanting to get 10 A's, 15 A's, 20 A's. That's what I
Betul, saya setuju. That's what the UKM is doing kan at your level. What are you doing lah?
I mean, dia ada dua. Satu ialah kita perkenalkan citra. Basically,
citra atau apa dia?
Citra basically liberal education lah.
Okay.
In short, basically 1/3 of our undergraduate program is students basically are very free to choose whatever that they want within certain domains. Dan but the other one is about research. I mean, itu yang kita buat kalau in our experience lah. Kita tukar daripada dulu-dulu approach ialah niche by the discipline subject, but now we take grand challenge. We call it grand challenge. For example, like take B40 is a grand challenge. You come from law, boleh tackle. You come from pengajian Islam. You come from whatever faculty discipline you boleh attend. Even people who study dietitian can also address the issue of B40. Jadi, I think I concur with you that we need to put that. Saya ingat Dato' Seri tanya masa the future seminar baru ni, berapa ramai yang bersedia untuk kita a little kind of dismantling faculty. Tak tahulah
you can't mistake of dismantling faculties. You're saying that.
Nah, saya angkat tangan tinggi lah.
You setuju lah tu. You're right.
I mean, I think that's very important.
What you are saying.
Silakan. Yang lain.
Saya pun dah beritahu kepada UPU to look into liberal education as what's happening in UKM. They call it Citra actually, where we have school of undergraduates rather than faculties. Faculties probably will cater more for
graduate
program. You're right. Betul lah tu. Okay, kita universiti dah mula buat lah. Sekolah, saya kena beritahu menteri dia. Okay, apa dia? Kau banyak cakap. Relax lah kau cakap. Depan, okay, sila. Okay,
thank you, Dr. Seri. Imam Muhammad daripada Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, also CEO at Faculty Candidate. Dalam gerbang kita menuju kepada Industrial Revolution 4.0, there are changes that we need to make for higher education, and I believe Dr. Seri, you are on board on this, and you are championing this. And one of the things that we need to do is to relook ourselves as Menara Gading. We no longer are the ivory tower, and we need to move towards a more sustainable model of operating the university.
I don't think we are ivory tower anymore. Not anymore.
No, I don't think.
Don't even mention the word. I don't believe it.
So I'm just proposing here that probably we should look into an idea of university as a place for students to come and work for us. Meaning that it's more sustainable. The university is a village for everybody. So our students become the architects, our students become the engineers, the builders, the bendahari, the ones that manage the financial, calculation in the universities. I mean, this would also encourage them and give them experience, working experience. So when they go out of the university, not only they have education in terms of theory and whatnot, but also have this kind of experience, work experience that could benefit them when they go out nanti. So more sustainable and a more like a family kind of institution that we help together.
Dato' Seri comfortable kalau pelajar-pelajar go in this, maksudnya being involved dengan kerja sebagainya. Saya cuba dekat UKM, but respon pelajar-pelajar agak tak berapa minat lah. Satu, because some of them saying that dia belajar 3 tahun, dia tak ada masa nak kerja. The idea I think mungkin Emma try to put up ialah, saya dulu saya
You
fokus.
tak nak kerja, tak boleh kredit, boleh kredit dia kerja lah.
Tak, dulu masa 19 tahun saya dapat duit lah kerja.
Yeah.
Tapi kerja malam-malam pukul 11, clean up cafeteria, tong sampah, about 20 tong sampah, saya settle tong sampah, mop lantai, dengan air panas, dengan air sabun, tukar sama, 3 times a week. But Alhamdulillah, not bad lah jadi profesor juga. I don't know, I mean, saya rasa banyak ahli-ahli akademik terutama yang mungkin I think kalau di luar negara lah, working while studying is biasa, but not a culture on our campus.
Tapi bukan hanya you clean up lantai ya. I did all this 4 o'clock receiving goods for McDonald and sending Domino's pizza. Pump station bukan hanya jadi VC, jadi menteri.
I better cari pump station satu kat luar lah.
No, exactly, you're right. Exactly, this is a to you, to I is all about. I don't quite believe that education has to be, as Menara Gading, no such thing. There were old stories when we invented universities long time ago. When there were no universities, university was unique and also only privileged people have right to the universities, but not anymore. That's embedded. I do believe that this TN50, or not even now, we're talking about universities, no more segregation between universities and industries from societies where quadruple helix is being exercised right in the universities. That's why we talk about education factory, what do you call it? The factory in the universities? Teaching factories in the universities, teaching firm in the universities, doing accounting firm setting up their office in universities. You're right, exactly. I mean, I feel fully concur with what you're saying. The concept of university has to change, not the way it is now, where people come in and out. Kita ni kalau universiti masuk ngejaga sekali, masuk takut lah. If you look at Harvard, you were there in Harvard kan?
And we did that at Bangi, Dato' Seri. Dato' Seri, UKM is the only university without pondok jaga kat pintu depan.
Tak ada dah?
Tak ada. Dah ada buang dah, 3 tahun dah.
UPM dah
so,
lagi?
So, can come anytime. Seriously. Tapi saya nak share this part. Even because it has been there for too long, that people always believe that without the pondok, kecurian akan berlaku. Jadi pondok tu macam simbol, tapi sebenarnya remove pondok pun tak jadi apa juga. And now basically we really remove that. And that simple change, kalau saya ambil pengalaman saya, Dato' Seri, it's not easy. I think there are friends from UKM here, boleh tahan juga VC kena. Sebab pindah pondok jaga, ada orang nak ambil pondok jaga tu nak simpan supaya dia jadi museum kata. Jadi jadi change is not easy. Dan saya rasa yang Dato' Seri, saya ingat Dato' Seri pernah datang dan Dato' Seri balik, you're coming back from Japan, you were saying that the ideal student untuk work on campus, look after their own hostels. There are pengetua yang cuba buat, mungkin dalam sini pun ada pengetua mungkin yang now receiving a lot of emails from student. Dia kata kami diperhambakan. This is true. They send letters meaning that bukan pasal dia tak setuju, pasal dia rasa itu kerja hamba. Dia kata that's not my job. The only policy is that I think some ketua here, I don't know any one of you ada experience, pelajar to take responsibility because we are creating student for the future. Any one of you?
Ada pengetua sini tak ada?
Ni bagi pengetua tu banyak tu. Any one of you yang ataupun mana-mana universiti lain lah kalau ada cuba nak tahu juga pengalaman pelajar-pelajar.
Memanglah Lan, perkara baru macam tu. Okey, tak payah komen lah. Okey. Perkara baru. It's always when you do something new.
Yeah.
People, the perception people have on framework is still the same. I should do it more and more. Macam dulu lah ICGPA. Then boleh tak boleh, now it's being accepted, you know. Sama itu you to I, boleh tak boleh. Sekarang people, tadi we have engagement with IPTS. People are excited, they want to do, betul Dia Miza? They want to do to you to I, excited with it. So, tak usah komen lah, okay lah, biasa lah. Komen benda baru, biasa. Okay, don't worry about it. You have my full support. Okay.
You can do it.
Okay, jom. Okay, belakang, ramai.
Silakan, belakang.
Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Husna Muhammad dari UiTM Puncak Alam. Okay, I would like to ask the audience to think in a term of human resource aspect of us moving towards the Transformasi Nasional. Okay, with the Industrial 4.0, Educational 4.0, we will have new jobs created. As mentioned by Ms. Adiwati just now, she was on the train and she got that there's a delay and stuff. So in the future, we might have like social media officer, something like that, to update the website and also would our mindset now be changed to accept all those kind of new jobs. Okay, like for example, if you bring home your boyfriend, your mom will say, who's this fella? Lawyer, magistrate? No, mom, he's a social analyst or maybe a social media officer. What is that? So mindset kita perlu juga berubah ke arah industri 4.0 ni untuk maju nanti di Transformasi Nasional 50. So about the creation of the new jobs tu, probably university will have a diploma in social media controller or something. Would that be happening in the future as well to support these new jobs? Kalau tak, nanti dia tak ada qualification pula kan? Okay, thank you.
Minta VC UPM jawab. New jobs, okay?
New jobs.
Social media controller. Okay.
Okay, terima kasih Dato' Seri.
Yeah.
I agree with her. I think we should change, we should go forward and don't think about what kind of job, because now that you can do any kind of job and you can get money.
Okay.
So whoever the mother-in-law is going to be, you should not worry about what the son-in-law is or daughter-in-law, what kind of job they do, because
so you can say what a job I do. I'm doing portfolio of jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, with the digital access that we can do a lot of things now. So I think those are the things that the mindset that we should change.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do in UPM to really ensure that is going to be the new framework? How you setting it up in UPM, katakanlah, or how you propose it? You should set it up.
For the job, you mean?
I mean, the new framework, the new thinking.
Well, I think the thing that we should engage with the students in terms of the work that we do and how we arrange things for the students to think. They have to think more in a broad sense, looking at new things, looking at the new environment that we have. And we engage the student in many things, get the students to be involved in many kind of activities to open up their mind. I think that would be the way to get the students together with us. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, sila. You are in black t-shirt.
The back. Dekat sini Dato' dah ni.
Hello, Dato' Seri.
Yeah.
When we're reaching 2050, I'm sure Malaysia population will increase. So we have to cater food to each one of
our population.
Okay.
So we are talking about digitalization, economy, technology, but agriculture is a main important thing that we need to consider.
Are you from UPM?
Yes, certainly. So, okay, let me share with you what am I doing to support TN50.
Okay.
Actually, I'm developing a few lands around urban area to cater agriculture to the community around the area. So I believe that since in 2050 the population will increase, so we have to encourage community to grow their own crops so that we don't have to depend farmers from Cameron Highland to cater the food.
Okay, good. Somebody talk about food now, okay. Make you feel hungry now. Sandwich juga lah. Makan sandwich, kalau lapar makan sandwich tu.
Di bawah ni satu mikrofon.
Okay.
Okay, mikrofon.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Dato Seri dan rakan-rakan daripada Akademia dan juga KPT. Datuk Seri.
Ya, Allah. Kejut aku. Okay, apa dia?
What I envision
and
wish in 2050 or even before 2050 is that the world without punch machine. Or seumpama dengannya. I got many support here. The thing is that
saya pun sokong sebenarnya. KSU tak tahu lah sokong tak sokong. Okay, sila.
Actually itu mukadimah je sebab
panjang lagi.
Sebab ramai kawan-kawan saya kat sini yang bila saya bangun ni mesti akan terfikir Aliani Ismail ni dia akan cakap pasal dua benda je.
Okay.
E-learning dan juga MOOC. Dia macam ada cop mohor MOOC dekat dahi kan. Tapi memang betul saya memang nak cerita salah satunya. Cuma saya berbalik kepada punch in, punch out. It's not about punch in, punch out.
Okay.
The machine was invented in 1930s and we are still doing it. We are still using it.
Alright.
So that means we have been talking about transformation. Kadang-kadang transformation ni, bila kita semua cerita pasal transformation ni, kita selalu fikir benda baru yang tak ada lagi. Benda baru kita nak buat, kita nak pergi masa depan, kita nak buat benda yang tidak ada lagi. Tapi kadang-kadang kita lupa, benda yang kita dah envision lama dulu, ada benda yang kita tak buat. We go back 33 years ago lah, 1984 macam tu kan. Sampai sekarang, yang ada hari ini, yang Prof. Reza sebutkan tadi, kegagalan generasi yang ada hari ini, sebenarnya kegagalan kita. Senyap pula tiba-tiba semua. Kegagalan kita.
Diorang tengah fikir apa yang kata tadi. Relax lah.
Yes. Tiba-tiba senyap.
Okay. Absorb.
So if you want to move forward for another 30 years, you move back 30 years ago. What we did wrong at that time that makes it happen. Saya echo apa yang Prof. Reza sebutkan tadi, walaupun saya daripada engineering, saya orang e-learning. Datuk Seri mungkin dah pernah tengok muka saya dalam meeting
nampak
sebelum ni.
Nampak muka juga.
Nampak mok muka saya kan.
Okay.
Kalau dekat UKM nampak mok, nampak janggut.
Mereka ni ada pengalaman manis dikejar saya buat mok. Dia macam ni, bila sebut tentang teknologi dan sebagainya, kita terlalu fokus dekat teknologi. Yang punch in, punch out tu point saya adalah, we envision the world to be back to human, trust on human, based on trust system. Kita sekarang lebih percaya robot, komputer, laptop daripada manusia. Itulah kadang-kadang selalu kita cerita benda baru. Sedangkan benda ni humanization ni sebenarnya dah lama dah. Tapi ada benda yang kita perhaps we have to admit that we didn't do it right lah.
Okay.
So in order to move forward, we have to do it right. Itu yang pertama. Yang kedua, Datuk Seri.
Baru satu, nak dua orang.
Dah alang-alang datang kan, saya tinggalkan family saya kat rumah, saya datang sini.
Anak sampai jaga sekarang ni? Suami jaga?
Husband saya jaga.
Sial, suami.
Kan? Berkorban. Apa nak cakap tadi, Tok Seri, saya dah lupa.
Robot.
Pasal e-learning, saya nak go back.
Okay.
30 years ago, e-learning bukan perkara baru. Online learning bukan perkara baru pun. Tapi 30 years ago, it didn't take off sampai sekarang. Sampai ada seorang menteri pelik yang visionary. Menteri pelik. Saya cakap menteri pelik ni sebab menteri pelik ni dia masukkan online learning sebagai salah satu dalam shift Malaysian Education Blueprint.
Shift apa?
Shift 9.
Betul lah? Betul lah? Okay.
Tapi,
pandai, okay.
Tapi that has been 30 years ago.
Okay.
Sampai ada seorang leader, seorang menteri pelik, dia masukkan dalam Malaysian Education Blueprint yang mana e-learning community dia sangat happy sebab dia dah fight benda tu dah lama dah. Tapi it takes a leader to do that. Jadi saya echo juga apa yang Dr. Abi mention tadi about leadership. We have forgotten about it for some time. And for things to happen, for change to happen in 2050, it takes a leader. Walaupun kita dah envision lama dah, it takes a leader. So if you want to do it right in 2050, the ecosystem dalam universiti has to change. Sahabat daripada UKM tadi cerita, nak tukar universiti jadi village dan sebagainya. Tapi kita dah duduk dalam sistem dah pun. Dan cara kita ambil lecturer masuk dalam universiti pun sama. Tengok dia punya publication banyak mana, tengok dia punya bidang apa. Tapi tidak tengok dia punya, orang kata, passion dia nak mengajar lah. Macam tu. Sekian, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.
Tersentuh hati saya. Tinggal anak suami jaga.
Tapi dia panggil Datuk Menteri Pelik tu siapa dia tu? Menteri Pelik ya? Berat.
Sebenarnya I fully concur with what you said. Saya pernah kata dalam cabinet, I was talking to the KSN, can do a bit more on the flexible working hours. I did say that. Probably have to say it again lah. Betul lah, saya pun tak percaya sangat kerja tu rigidnya, tapi tak boleh lah. KSN punya, KSU. Berani cakap KSN berani. Okay. We record that as one of our key points. Okay. Habis setuju ni? You can answer any. Since you are down here, I mean, you can say, kalau you nak jawab, you just pick up the phone. The phone pula ada Allah, microphone. Tengah malam kot. You can pick up the microphone and say whatever you say, okay? You're free to, because that's why we invite you down here, okay? Habis botol dah, cakap tak. Okay, sila. Please. Bukan dia, you are, how you in universities, you have to concur with the rigid clock in, clock out, tak kan? Or you can make a difference in universities rather than having, no? InsyaAllah, the VCs are here, the 2 VCs are here. And the KP is here. Okay. Timbang apa lagi? Ada lupa. My lovely Mary. Okay, sila.
Hi, good evening. I'm Xiao from MMU, Multimedia University. So I have a few points. Okay. So the first thing is that I think we should look into transforming our education system. I mean, in terms of recruitment of teaching. So I think we should revolutionize the teaching profession and make it more attractive, because everything starts, the heart of teaching, the heart of education starts from teaching, the teachers, right? So what students we produce depends on the quality of the teachers. So I think we should look into attracting the brightest brains into the teaching profession, rather than the current state where, I can't find jobs, so I go and become teacher. So this should not be the way. If you look at, someone quoted the Scandinavian countries, the teachers there are really highly respected. So there's something that we need to ponder upon. And then once we have bright teachers, then they also need to be inculcated in them teaching on topics rather than subjects, right? When you teach history, you can also inculcate maths. When you teach physics, you can also inculcate chemistry. They shouldn't be separate silos. They should be interconnected so that our students, our younger generation can get a bigger picture. Okay? And someone also mentioned about the assessment as assessment for learning, right? There's another, for learning, got one more is what? Of learning. And the third one we should not forget is assessment as learning.
Okay, yeah.
So we really need to redesign our education, our curriculum to encourage our students to actually learn from themselves, right? Encourage them to reflect. When they learn something, we encourage them to reflect, because that is how a maturity of learning takes place. Okay, so that is on the teaching. And the next thing is I want to talk about the, correct me if I'm wrong, Malaysia is still known as the manufacturing hub. So despite billions of ringgits being put into research, R&D, and so on and so forth, yet we are still only known as the manufacturing hub. So I don't know what's the missing gap, but perhaps a more detailed study can really find out the root cause of this. And the last thing is we are mentioning that our generations, our younger generation, Generation Z, and after Z, I don't know what, Alpha, Beta, I don't know. Okay, so our younger generations are spoiled. Why? Because of the parents. So we should really look into, I don't know, can we transform the parents? I don't know. I'm just throwing the thoughts. Yeah, and I think, yep, and the last but not least, okay, and we have also been very ranking frenzy. We have also been very ranking driven. So we always want to chase for the world top 50, the world top 30. But then I would like all of us to reflect. So if you are world top 30, so what? Right? If you are world top 20, so what? I've seen cases where all these numbers are just games, right? They are only achieved superficially. So they are not done holistically. So I hope that at some point, I know we need to chase ranking to drive our people to achieve some goals. But I hope that eventually, even before 2050, we can have a very mature society where we are no longer concerned with rankings, but we all know what we need to do. Yeah, so that is my vision for Malaysia.
Okay, thank you.
2050. Thank you.
I would like to say, let me say a little bit about the teachers, okay, the brightest. We developed, we're still young, comparatively compared to all the others. I remember when I was quite young, I'm still young now, anybody who wants to become teachers could become teachers. No? You can just, man, no qualm at all. You know, you can become teachers. Except for my wife, she was a good student, exceptionally. She was a teacher. It's not anymore nowadays. Not anymore nowadays. When I was in Kementerian Pendidikan lah, you cannot be teachers unless you cannot get into IPG unless you are 7As, you know, not anymore. That was 2 years ago. Things have changed, but we're getting good teachers nowadays. It's not easy anymore. That's why people come, I got people. In fact, a student came and see me, she got 8 A's. And she wanted to be a mathematics teacher. She was not being accepted because people with 10 A's are there, you know, were there. That was around 2 years ago. Of course, when we were building schools, we need teachers. When we need teachers, we build IPGs, okay, all over the countries. Now, we don't need as many IPGs anymore. That's why we convert some of the IPGs into polytech or training institutions. We're getting there. You're right. I mean, I fully concur what you're saying. But things are changing. Same thing with universities. Before you want to become lecturer, you have master's degree, boleh jadi lecturer kan? Ada boleh tu jadi lecturer. Sekarang, I got a lot of people who have PhDs. Dato' nak jadi lecturer, so it's not easy anymore. Tak beritahu Ani kata, alah macam ni, I got 50 macam ni, dia kata. So things are changing, the quality is improving, I guess. It's a matter of time. Of course, we cannot get rid of the teachers. We have 400,000 teachers around who's going to be in the system for 20 years at least, you know. So we're making up what's happening. Probably since Mary is here, she's a specialist teacher. Give her, you talk a little bit about this because I did a little bit of this off learning, for learning, and as learning. I mean, it's not a new term to me. Probably Mary, Dato' Mary, okay, you can say a little bit, okay. 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 Bangunlah, tengok orang.
We want to see you.
See you, okay. Why not? It's good for us to know that things are happening even at KPM, since we were there before. And Mary was you were the teacher, cikgu apa dulu? Cikgu special?
I was Pengetua Cemerlang.
Oh, Pengetua Cemerlang, tepuk tangan lah.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Yang Berhormat Dato' Sri, and thank you for this privilege of being able to share with you what, well, education is all about and what being a good teacher is all about. And when we talk about the assessment, it was mentioned just now, there's assessment for testing of learning and as learning. So you find that there is a difference there when we talk about testing for learning. It is more on what the present system of assessment is, and we call it the PT3, whereby we kind of like involve the students to go for higher order thinking skills, and that's HOTS. Now, when we talk about assessment of learning, it is more of where you regurgitate the information that you have learned or the knowledge that you have learned, and then you just kind of like throw out the answers. Then when we talk about as learning, you find that that is where the combination of thinking beyond what the child has been taught. And again, this involves in critical thinking skills. And this is exactly what the Ministry of Education is doing now with the PT3. And you find that there is a difference in terms of assessment, and students find that to be very interesting because especially for subjects like history and geography, they are involved in project work. And being assessed on the project work based on group has got its values, because apart from doing the test and apart from getting the marks, what the values that are being inculcated through this form of assessment will be definitely cooperation. There will be collaboration. Then there is definitely what you call time management, and then unity. But the important thing is when the students are undergoing this form of assessment, it's very important that the teacher play the role of a facilitator. And you have got to make sure that the teachers have got to ensure that every child takes part or participate in the group assessment, because sometimes there's a tendency of having students playing the role of passenger, not being actively involved. So during the time when I was...
Panjang lagi, Mary? Panjang lagi?
Hi?
Panjang lagi ke?
I'm a teacher, and once you get the mic, you know what we are like, educators, right?
Saya nak suruh dia beritahu that there's such thing that we do understand what's happening. Sama juga dengan ICGPA. Actually, ICGPA is for learning what you have understood, and just off learning what you have understood, and for learning what you need to understand. Actually, so it's there in the system. So mungkin since you are here, a little bit on the ranking. Why are you so obsessed with ranking?
Hi everyone. The thing is, ranking is not everything. We know that, but ranking is actually the byproduct of good or excellent academic culture, because ranking is a game of looking at what have the academics been publishing? Actually, when we started ranking, it wasn't really to get the high ranking, but we are benchmarking with others, what others are doing. We know that if the ranking is good, we feel good. But if ranking is not good, we say, oh, ranking is not good. So sometimes we fall into that category. If you ask those universities in UK, US, they're in the top rank, they say, oh, ranking is okay. But if they're not in the ranking, they will start looking at the ranking as well. So what I'm saying is, if we want to be relevant, we can say what we say about ranking. We can say ranking is not good and whatnot. But I remember traveling to US, and we were trying to recruit students then. And what happened was, students will ask us, are your universities in the ranking? Even though we say ranking is not good, ranking is all that. At the end of the day, people still look at ranking. The UK, US universities, they can say ranking is not, not the main thing. And the same, we are saying it's not the only thing. But we know we are in this part of the world, people still look at ranking. Even our stakeholders, if you go to the parliament, they were saying, this is how much we have put in. Where are we in the world ranking? Yeah? So we cannot deny ranking, Dato' Seri, even though it's not everything, but there is part of it.
My co-pilot saying about ranking. Why you are so engrossed in trying to improve UKM in the rank of UKM? Why?
We are just next door to UPM. You
have to compete with UPM.
One rank ahead. InsyaAllah tahun depan potong. Cakap dekat rumah orang ni bahaya. Tak boleh balik nanti. Make sure pengawal keselamatan bagi clear nanti. Saya tengok begini. I mean, sometimes I do speak along the same line. That I think Dato' Seri, we had a session dengan few RU universities. Dato' Seri make it very clear that he's not obsessed with ranking. I think that's what you said it very clear. Though we speak about it, we talk about it, we set a goal about it, but it is not everything about it. But saya rasa, in one way, it gives us some ideas about where we are. Comparatively, sebenarnya to compare apple to apple is very difficult. I always mention about this, that while we masih lagi main pedang zaman Melaka tu, masa tu all these great universities are already there. Some of them are 1,000 years. Tapi bagi saya, for a country to know where we are is good. But to say that that's all what we want is wrong. And we make it very clear that ranking matters, but to make sure that we behave, we act upon, we create the impact of a highly ranked university is even more important. Ya, boleh share sikit Ustaz? There's a word what we call as isomorphic mimicry. Minta maaf lah kalau ada pening sangat. Isomorphic mimicry ni basically is that when form gets overfunction. You get the form, you get banyak balai polis, tapi jenayah banyak berlaku. That is very dangerous. Ranking is good, but we must make sure that that ranks is meaningful to all the stakeholders. We don't want to let the ranking goes down. Honestly, bila tahun ni UKM dapat ranking dari segi kenaikan banyak tu, memang kira beranilah sikit jumpa bos kan. Kita pun soaring upward ni. The soaring mana ada downward, semua upward kan. Jadi to me, that's make a call. We decided, like in our platform dekat UKM, we have a long Senate, especially to discuss about this, to make sure that everybody understand why are we going for it, and to caution ourselves so that we are not, what Dato' Seri was telling, that we are not becoming unnecessarily obsessed for it without creating the impact. Bagi saya, university must at the end of it justify its existence beyond achieving the numbers. But numbers are important. I think I will take it that way.
Okay. Faham kan? Tak payah banyak sangat kan? Okay, everybody can comment on it. Okay, belakang dulu. Okay, sila.
Di belakang ada mikrofon kan?
You berdiri lah.
Mikrofon dah.
You pun syarah, suara deras.
Boleh bangun.
Okay. Okay, sila.
Good evening. I wanted to be a school teacher from previously. So coming back what Dr. Berry has mentioned,
about PT3, because what I can see on TN50, if we want to achieve 2020, we have to prepare our Form 1 students at the age of 13. If you want to go on 2040, the age of child is 6 years old. Kalau nak 2050, mungkin tak lahir lagi. Because I've been with the school.
So you have to prepare the mother who's
Yeah.
going to give birth. Okay.
Yeah, so. But looking at PT3, I've seen, because I love teaching, so like Form 1 math subjects, they put up some of the topic ketaksamaan linear, persamaan linear, algebra in Form 1. They have changed. Like PT3, they have kebat. Soalan-soalan kebat tu is very simple question, but the students need to answer with logics. That's hiring, because I'm following that. I'm teaching in that system. So when the student yang sekarang Form 1, yang telah mengalami perubahan syllabus, when they come on 2020 into the university level for 2020, dia mungkin umur 20 tahun. Now 13. So we have to align with their education, pemahaman mereka dan kepada universiti, and we look things. And soalan kebat tu, when we look sometimes, moderate students scores, they can answer more perfectly on the kebat questions because the way they think. And the innovation ideas, sometimes from this type of students, they have a good innovation that can be applicable. So not necessarily, like I've listened a lot of comments, not necessarily that we need to have high scorers, mostly come to the university, that can have innovation ideas. So the transformation of PT3 is a good move. I've been teaching them. My passion is teaching in school children. Yes, there's a lot of changes in PT3. Even science subject, they brought the Form 3 topics into Form 1, and students are adapting, they are thinking. So, and I saw some moderate students, they're able to answer. Then talking about mathematics, why there are changes? Sebab sekarang banyak pakai calculator. Dulu zaman kita pakai buku sifir, 4 angka. Buku sifir and everything. There are changes. But the students are looking in different direction. The generations are looking that we need to understand them, to move aligned with them, to get the education into them. This is my view.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dato.
Thank you. You wanted to be a school teacher, ending up becoming lecturer. Not bad lah. Okay, belakang. Ujung belakang, okay. Sila.
Belakang.
Black lah, baju belang. Okay. Where are you from? UPM? UPM, okay.
Selamat malam, salam sejahtera Datuk Seri, hadirin sekalian. Saya Go daripada Fakulti Perubatan Veterina, Universiti Putra Malaysia. I'd just like to attract the attention again about the Industrial Revolutions 4.0 just now. Because so far I've been talking about investing in Industrial Revolutions 4.0, but we should also be mindful about the repercussions coming from IR 4.0. For example, certain jobs will be made redundant. Because you can see that in industrial revolutions, there will be a lot of integration between cyber-physical systems. So that means artificial intelligence and everything else will become super important. So jobs that we took traditionally for granted, things like, let's say, medicine, veterinary medicine, things that is on diagnostics, may one day be taken over by artificial intelligence systems. So I guess by then, we should be mindful that there could be certain redundancies among our jobs, among the courses that we train, the marketability of our graduates. And in the competitive world, the world without border, we have to strive to compete with our peers to make this, to attract investments, to attract capital to our country, to this part of the world. So whenever we become relevant, well, we might be left out of the race. That's why I concur that to some extent, ranking will make us be noticeable, meaning that we exist, we are important. So it's some kind of beacon for people to recognize us. But even then, I'm not saying that ranking is everything. On the other hand, another aspect that we should be paying attention to will be the outcome of all these investments. We are an industrialized nation, but in a few years' time, we could be a rapidly aging society. So I guess we should be taking into account the biological needs, the societal needs of these aging societies. Are we ready for that? Well, it was mentioned just now that 70% of the audience tonight, or 70% of the population will witness TN50. But have we thought about the well-being? Have we thought about let's say, the welfare of all these individuals. So are we ready for an aging society? Are we ready to transform the higher education? And no doubt, in the blueprint, we talk about memasyarakatkan pendidikan tinggi. We have to see what are the specific points of investment in IR 4.0 that we should be making. And I do agree with very much with the ICGPA. I do agree very much with 2U2I, because that will allow our students to transcend beyond disciplines, so that we are a step better. We are always better than the Industrial Revolution 4.0 elements. For example, AI that will permeate throughout our society, and therefore that will continue to make us an excellent and society with par excellence types of mentality. I think that's all for me.
Okay, terima kasih. Terima kasih for reminding that the need to take care of the aging society, because that's why going to be if not 2030, 2050, 2030 ada lagi lah. 2040, not too sure. Okay, okay, sila. Mike here, tudung orange now.
Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Wan Zuhaini Saad dari Faculty of Biotechnology and Biomolecular Sciences, Universiti Putra Malaysia. Nak echo balik tadi beberapa keyword daripada Dr. Ayani, Dr. Goh, and from MMU, UITM. There are a few keywords that I have jotted down. I think the first word is to have passion. Bila kita cakap pasal teaching and digital tsunami and all, I think yang saya nampak in technology, because kita ada setengah academics yang agak resistance to technology. But as mentioned by Dr. Goh just now, kalau kita tak mengikuti this technology, we will not be relevant and we may be left behind. So in order to do that, I think we should get ready. Macam mana kita nak mencapai transformasi ni, we should be ready to learn, unlearn and relearn. Tapi nak buat tu memang susah, but we have to have that. But in order to do that, we have to have that passion. And the problem with our as educator in a higher education is student yang kita dapat daripada sekolah, especially for the first semester student, they are all being spoon-fed. You see, the first question, ada ke nota? Kalau tak ada nota, macam mana nak dapatkan nota tu? Contohnya.
Tak ada nota, universiti bukan sekolah.
Yes. But we tadi ada sebut pasal kita sebagai facilitator, we are supposed to guide them, kan? Because we want them to become self-directed learners. So not only as to facilitate, but we should be able to coach them. So we do not want to transfer the knowledge. Students now, they do not want to duduk kat sini and listen to our lecture. They want to be able to interact, to be able to speak their own minds, and to be able to connect to each other. We are talking about interdisciplinary. I mengajar microbiology, but my students are doing augmented reality and virtual reality, which we actually connect to the faculty science computer and Dr. Ko, faculty science computer and engineering and all. But we want, sebabnya kita nak relate. Students now, they are susah nak relate to their real life situation. So we want them to do that, to be tapi ada setengah where you dekat microbe, you ajar microbe sajalah, we are here, let my student worry about that, that kind of attitude. So we have to be able to accept change, walaupun a bit slow, but it has to come back to passion. Okay.
Setuju.
Thank you.
No comment, setuju.
Tak ada komen, Dato' Seri.
Setuju dah.
Okay, setuju.
You are saying about interactive learning environment. You are saying about embedded learning. You are saying about indirectly about teaching by topics. Betul lah. Tak ada komen apa lagi. Pukul je lah. Okay, sila.
Alright. Salam sejahtera, Dato Seri. So I'm I'm from Faculty of Computer Science, and actually I just want to add on this, my friends here. Before I came to this event, I asked my students, actually, I having the what called lab session with my students. And then saya tanya kat dia orang, what is your dreams, what they call higher education in the futures? Dia kata, we don't want to have this what called so-called physical university. We want to learn at home, and we don't want to have the paper-based exams. In fact, that's true actually. You see, I would say that most of the what they call this industry has been transformed. Only our educations still stick to the classrooms implementations since 1990s. If you go and investigate the history, since 1990s, 1900, everyone's learned in the class, and at this point, we still do the same things, right? And I think towards 2050, I think this will be our classroom in futures. You see, in the whole world, we're having about 7.5 million of people. So almost everyone be having these phones, these cell phones. And in fact, everyone can learn from here, right? And I think so for my faculty, some of the subjects actually, the students don't need to attend the class, right? They can learn online. A lot of resources from YouTube, from anywhere, right? So I think any organizations, there are two constraints. One is the resources, the other one is scalabilities, right? So with the resources we have, I think with all the academics here, we can spend more time on research and developments, having a collaboration with industry and so on. And scalability, we're having internet. So those are the things we can make use of it. And the second thing is that we're having, most of the people here having the perceptions. University is the place you should go before seeking for the job. We're talking about job employabilities. But actually, to me, university basically is a place to learn about, to have this robust democracy. And to me, it's a place for the students to learn how to deliver the ideas in an intelligent way. Basically, those are the things that I would like to share. Thank you.
Okay, terima kasih. Saya ingat sebelah you tu ada Prof. Rujahan, who has done a lot on MOOCs and Appel. We should, I don't know whether you are not, so to ensure that you are aware of what MQA has done actually and giving credits, because you're saying as if there's so much online. Kawan kita pun you have knowledge. But for the sake of the public, why not we have Prof. Rujahan to say a little bit about MOOCs, Appel, and what you have done at MQA? Because MQA has done a lot actually. Tepuk tangan sikit untuk Rujahan ni.
Terima kasih Dato Seri.
Baju tak tukar lagi, nampak kerja. Nak tunjuk menteri dia kerja kuat lagi.
Yeah, in fact we already, Minister already announced on our MOOCs with the credit transfer. That is the future of learning. No more classroom. You can learn from any professors all over the world. You can choose the right professor for you. You can choose professor from Harvard, you can choose professor from UKM. You register with them, and one day you get a credit. And when
you allow that? MQA allows
that? We allow that already. So we are the first country in the world make it as a national policy to make it MOOCs with credit transfer.
Right, sure nampak you.
Dah puji ayat
first in the world. Okay. And it's a national policy. MOOCs in Malaysia is a national policy.
Yeah.
Macam di negeri-negeri lain, universiti lain is only in that particular university. But Malaysia, acceptance of MOOCs and credit given to MOOCs is a national policy. Okay.
Okay. So we actually MK is heading the world towards innovation in higher education. So not only by MOOCs, we have Appel. We assess the prior learning of those candidates, allow them to come to university, and also get the credit transfer into the programs. So the duration of stay in the university no longer can be for undergraduate, for example, 4 years, but maybe 1.5 years. They already can be graduated. Taking consideration of their prior learning. We also
putting the efforts to see the work-based learning taking place, like to you, to I. And these 3 items already putting Malaysia ahead in terms of innovation in higher education. So we hope the world will recognize us. Then recently has been shortlisted as the Pioneer Awards. They're going to be held in London in September, to be held in the Royal Institution of British
Baru cadang baru calon baru kau menang lagi.
Calon pun dah cukup dah. From hundreds of entries, the top 3. So the awards could go.
Oh, you are not in the top 3.
Okay, we're in the top 3.
Oh.
So one from Malaysia, from MKA, another one from US, satu lagi from Hong Kong. So hopefully pray for MKA. Thank you.
But basically kita buat bukan untuk dapat ranking. The thing is that the transformation of MQA, how things should be done, how education should be carried out. No more the old school of education anymore. I said right from the beginning when I become the minister, I said, you're going to be irrelevant. University is going to be irrelevant unless you change. And that's what the changes happening in our education system nowadays, actually. We don't want to be I agree what most of you are saying. It cannot be the same old style anymore. Cara lama tak boleh pakai dah. Because people are changing. They said people can learn from home. If you want information, you can get it from online rather than having to go to schools and listen to most of your boring lectures. Because lecturers only think that students have to listen to them. That's a problem. I have to suffer my 4 years in USM. Taklah sangat, okay. And I have you, and we stop at around 10, not 11. 10:25, 10:20, and allow Johan to say a few words before we close. Because you come all the way, it's only right. I'll give you a few minutes. Okay, still now, siapa dulu? You dulu, okay. And then we can have you have the mic. Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Dato dan semua Akademik. Minta maaf saya datang lambat pergi kenduri kat masjid. Ya, tak ada buang terbiat pakai ni kan. Anyway,
tak kira kau boleh percaya sangat kan.
Mana butang abang Sabariah.
Okay.
Apa ni? First of all, I would like to thanks to the government to come up with such an ideology ataupun satu wawasan yang pandang jauh. Dengan nak memastikan satu konsep kemenjadian pelajar tu kan. So that is a very sesuatu yang kita memang nanti-nantikan. So bagi satu tepukan untuk kerajaan Malaysia.
Mari kita tepuk lah. Okey, cakap
tak ikhlas. Okey, kemudian saya tertarik dengan ramai sebut pasal innovation. Tersebut tentang MOOCs. Tapi bila kita nak bercakap, kita nak my field is e-business and internet marketing. Bila kita nak sebut tentang kita nak menggunakan MOOC contohnya, we have to understand what are the subject or the courses which is marketable. Not just simply kita dapat ranking, kita tabur semua. Who will come to this Malaysian MOOC kalau kita hanya menawarkan kenegaraan Malaysia. Contoh, sedangkan kita bersaing, bila kita sebut MOOCs tu, is a subject. Saya bagi satu contoh. Bagi tourism technology, for instance, ya, mereka menjalankan satu collaboration. Everyone in the world, we are no longer saying that UPM is the champion of this in MOOC. No. Ataupun UTM, Malaysia champion in this is old thought. This is old school. The new thought is, when you talk about the subject, for instance, tourism technology, under IFIT, the National Federation of Information Technology and Tourism. Okay. Mereka mengumpulkan all the expertise all over the world, sit together or sit in one session, webinar, discuss about what are the subjects for tourism technology. Now, this is the future of MOOCs.
Okay.
If you want to talk about MOOCs lah, I just respond to the last point. Okay, tu point pertama. Oh, tahu muka tiga.
Berapa poin ada tu?
Ada 3 je.
3, pendek-pendek kan sekarang.
Pendek, jangan risau.
Yang buat syarahan pula.
Kemudian yang keduanya, saya tengok apa nama ni, ada ditegaskan dalam waktu pelancaran TN50 dulu, ada Datuk Seri Najib sebutkan tentang quality pendidikan itu. Daripada semua peringkat sampailah kepada pendidikan pengajian tinggi. Jadi kita berharap, saya tak tahulah, saya sebagai warga pendidik, orang boleh cakap mekanisme, tools, education ni berubah. Tapi saya cakap, pendidikan itu masih lagi kekal. Selagi kita berpegang kepada pendidikan, didik anak bangsa. Bukan mengajar anak bangsa kita. And all this technology is just a tools. Ya, tiba-tiba lepas ni semua lecturer tak payah pergi ke kuliah. Semua keluar hologram. Lepas tu nanti Datuk Wan pening macam mana nak punch card. So this is the future. It's just a tools. The pendidikan is still the same. Yang saya nak tegaskan di sini, saya berharap supaya kerajaan Malaysia, walaupun kita tengah sibuk nak cerita pasal TN50, kita harus juga tengok kepada wawasan 2020. Kerana di dalam wawasan 2020 itu salah satu pada agendanya ialah untuk menghasilkan beliau yang berkualiti dan berpendidikan. Dan kalau kita tengok kepada, kita kaitkan pula dengan TN50, perkembangan ataupun yang bersepadu di semua peringkat, kita harap tidak lakukan kesalahan, atau bukan kesalahan lah, kekhilafan yang kita buat, contoh pengajian bahasa Inggeris, matematik, sains, yang merugikan anak bangsa kita. The time tu, jangan seorang bangun kata tak rugi, ya tipu lah tu. Dan saya, Datuk Idris, seorang yang very transparent, sebab tu saya punya cakap, kalau tak habis kena bawa je. Sebab kita kena tengok wawasan 2020 itu perlu digabungkan dengan TN50, barulah kita dapat satu kejayaan di semua peringkat. Sebab saya risau. Bonda saya terlibat dengan pendidikan prasekolah. Saya tengok apa yang diorang belajar, ialah apa yang saya belajar, teknik pendekatannya, ialah apa yang mereka belajar, yang saya belajar ketika di universiti. Sekitar tahun 2003 dulu. Pendekatan di tadika sudah yang kita dulu bawa ke mereka. So our challenge, all the academics here, macam mana kita nak terkehadapan daripada mereka? Tadika, bayangan tadika, boleh cerita pasal KI satu hari nanti.
Pendekkan sikit.
Itu je.
Itu je.
Yeah? So saya rasa the challenge is very big. And saya tak walaupun nak setuju kata Dr. Wan kata students silver spoon ya. Mungkin itu yang pemalas. Ataupun kita dapat student yang tidak berkualiti di IPTA. Di IPTS, kita tengok all the good students go to IPTS. So we have
tak
to...
ada, no.
Majority. Saya bagi TELUS, kalau kita pergi tengok TELUS, all the excellence is there. Contoh ramai lah.
Tak ada. All the good students are in IPTA now.
Mungkin dari segi result. I'm not talking about the result.
Itu saya tak setuju.
Okay. Yang lain tu setuju kan?
Saya setuju.
Yang lain setuju kan? Saya rasa terima kasih. Tapi saya amat berbangga lah kerajaan buat benda ni.
Terima kasih. I mean, you'd be surprised. Good students are in our university awam, in public universities. I met a student in US recently in June. Dia kata, why you talk about this? You want to do? Dia nak buat apa ni? Agriculture kind of thing. He said, siapa tak belajar di UPM? Dia kata, I was rejected from UPM. So, really, man, it's not easy to get into public universities nowadays. The good public universities nowadays. So, I would defer on that view lah. Tak apalah. Yang MOOC saya setuju. Mana tadi? Bagi Melayu tadi? Kau Marilah awak cakap banyak. Okay. Yang mock tu you buat je lah. Kita tak larang, you buat. Tak ada larang. Okay, buat. Because we give you a lot of lecturers who can do a lot of things. We allow can I go back to you right now? Okay, sila.
Good evening to Dato Sri and good evening to everyone. I'm Chan from Perdana University. By 2050, I'll be reaching 70 years old.
Okay.
I think that
you
is a long...
You still think it's going to still be around?
Yeah, I will still be.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm still healthy. Yeah. By that time, it's my wish and my dream as well. Hopefully, we have enough time to prepare our nation by that time that when we go out, we ask anybody, maybe from the science background or from the arts background, you ask them a simple question like, why the sun rises in the east and set in the west? They will be able to tell you why and also explain about the gravitational effect moving around the sun. That is what I wish that I can see by 2050 because it shows that our nations have certain level of science understanding, certain level of science because no doubt and we can't deny that science is just part of us and everything is related to science. Okay, to be able to do this, I think one thing is that apart from passion, before even passion, we should, I will echo what Chai have said, it's not about teaching science, it's about appreciating science. Once you start appreciating the importance of science, then you have the passion to learn science. So I always tell my students that I do not teach them, but I assist them in their learning. This actually implies that they have to take the initiative, the lead to learn. Okay? By doing that, only that the willingness to learn will be the main key for you to be excelled in science. And why MOOC will become a trend in the future is because students will decide what they want to learn, what they will learn. And at the same time also, I think regarding these things, I think YSN have done a good job where they have this back to school program where they go back to the school, the scientists go back to the school and perform some simple experiments, some activities where the student can join and tell them how fun to have science, to learn science, and they will start appreciating science. And this is also, I think, something that we can do as an academician. I think we should take it further by taking the challenge of, for example, in some, maybe, let's say there is some places, Ulu Kampong, where they do not have access to pure water, clean water. Then this academician can bring together their engineering student to go and develop a pump and develop a filtration system to solve their problem. Taking this through the process, the student also will learn through the process and start appreciating science. At the same time, the villagers in the village will also appreciate the importance of science in solving their life, their problem in life. Yeah.
Okay. Setuju. Tak ada yang tak setuju. You sound like a good lecturer. Renu. Okay, we have one or two and then okay.
Seri, thank you so much.
One. Siapa lagi? One over there. Oh, ramai lagi ni ya. Macam mana kita ni?
Oh, pada orang
lain.
Tak berhenti kita malam ni.
Dato Sri.
I take one from that side, one from there, from there, go three afterwards, and we can wrap up.
Yeah, just a quick one. Renu from UPM. We are talking about TN50. It's very clear. The goal is good. Everything's fantastic. To navigate, especially looking into higher education, we have a fantastic blueprint, MEB 2015-2025. So we have about 10 years to use or leverage on the blueprint, and we can respond to TN50 easily. Now what I see from 2025 till 2050, there is a vacuum. Now if we let every one of us throw ideas, I don't think we will converge as a nation. So I'm not asking us to do another blueprint. What is needed, probably an interim for the time frame of 2025 till 2050 to respond to TN50 specifically for higher education, so that all of us, all the universities, including IPTS, will converge to TN50. I think it's very, very mandatory. I'm so confident with the MEB that we have. Up to 2025, I can tell people I don't have to worry about TN50 because I am responding, I am leveraging on MEB that we have now. But after that, 25 years later, I'm not sure what am I going to actually look into. But I think as a nation, I think as a ministry, we need to actually set that, not a blueprint, at least a short roadmap from time frame of 2015 to 2050.
Okay, good suggestion.
Thank you.
Okay, we have one on the side. Okay, ujung. Okay. Okay, sila.
Microphone.
Baling ya. Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dato Seri. Saya sebab dah malam ni kan, saya nak mulakan dengan pantun Boleh?
Suka kau lah.
Tunas diberi pencahayaan, tumbuh bersemi mempersonakan. Kalau diberi kepercayaan, pemuda berani hadapi cabaran. Jadi poin saya pada malam ini adalah kita punya education. Kita menganggap student-student ni, orang muda ni seperti macam balang kosong yang kita perlu isi. Kadang-kadang mereka ni tak nak pun diisi. Ataupun perlu diisi itu adalah satu approach yang bagus, outside in. Tetapi yang akan melengkapkan education tu adalah inside out approach. Maknanya mereka ni perlu diberi peluang bersinar dekat mana yang dia nak. Jadi mereka ni perlu ditanya apa yang mereka passion. Tanpa kita perlu set, you have to go this direction, this way. Dia perlu ada reason to live today. Dia nak buat apa hari ni. Jadi yang itu yang saya suka TN50 ni sebab dia agak mesra dengan kursi yang orang kata bukan sofa, cuma saya risau kuat jadi apa kursi itu kan.
Saya okey nampak Abi.
Okey.
Abi tak boleh bangun.
Sebab bila kita cakap pasal empowerment sebagai contoh, empowerment maknanya we have to give power to them. Bukan kita bagi kerja kepada mereka. Kadang-kala, minta maaf bercakap, saya terasa orang kata apa macam agak direndah-rendahkan apabila disebut sebagai pensyarah muda. Initially pensyarah muda itu satu term yang baik lah kan, pensyarah muda, maknanya energetic and so on.
Nak bagi pensyarah tua.
Tapi biasanya dia akan associate dengan pensyarah muda akan diberi kerja. Sepatutnya kita empower orang muda ni, bukan saja pensyarah lah, maknanya student and so on. Jadi Dato Seri, saya akan tutup dengan satu peribahasa Jepun. Orang Jepun
jangan mencarut dah, okey.
Mengatakan, wakagi no shita de kasa o nuge. Maksudnya, wakagi ni adalah satu pohon kecil, pohon yang muda. Orang dulu jalan mungkin bawa payung. Dia kata buang payung tu bila kita jumpa pokok yang kecil. Maknanya analogi zaman sekarang ni kalau kita pakai topi, berhadapan dengan pohon yang kecil tu dia buka topi. Memberikan tanda the utmost respect to orang muda. Reason why disebabkan kita tak tahu dia akan jadi apa. Dato Seri pernah bekerja di pump station, jadi menteri. Saya pernah kutip sampah di Jepun, maknanya kerja sebagai pengangkut sampah di Jepun. Mungkin saya tak tahu jadi apa kan.
Okey.
Tapi that is
nak jadi menteri juga ke?
Wallahu a'lam. Jadi itu saja yang saya nak berikan idea pada malam ini. Terima kasih.
Okey, setuju. Can you last one from this side? Okey, the last one.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Rusdi dari UPM, Mechanical Engineering. Saya nak cerita pada tahun 1894, The Times of London, dia predict by year 1950, di kota London akan dipenuhi dengan tahi kuda setinggi 9 kaki. Maksudnya dia predict 50 tahun akan datang, kuda akan memenuhi kota London dan tahi kuda akan memenuhi London. Dan pada ketika itu teknologi kereta masih lagi belum established dan teknologi petroleum pun tak established. Jadi kita melihat berlakunya big changing lah kepada transformation dari industri pengangkutan dan sebagainya. Cuma saya nak remind bila kita bercakap pasal TN50, kita ada satu lagi Sustainable Development Goal yang telah dikemukakan oleh United Nations by 2016 ya. 16. So dia menggariskan ada 17 goal yang kita kena achieve by 2030. So kita ada 15 tahun untuk kita achieve 17 goals. Dan saya melihat untuk kita menuju ke 2050, pertama kita kena achieve Sustainable Development Goal yang ada 17. Dan kita juga perlu relevan dengan Fourth Industrial Revolution. Dan juga kita tak boleh meninggalkan nilai-nilai ketimuran yang kita dah kuasai selama ni, nilai keagamaan, nilai culture kita dan sebagainya. Jadi saya tak nak panjang ucapan saya, jadi saya rasa itu pandangan saya untuk setakat malam ini.
Okey, pandangan diterima. Ada lagi yang rasa kalau tak boleh balik mana-mana dia mesti nak cakap juga malam ni. Tak boleh tidur. Yang betul tak boleh tidur lah. Kalau sikit tak payahlah. Kalau balik mana tak boleh tidur betul. Angkat tangan siapa dia. Rasa you must, you know? You must speak. Okay. Tak boleh tidur kan? Tak tahu kita ada cakap tu. You dengar-dengar lah. Okay. Tak payahlah. Ini tadi 2 orang. Seorang 2 orang tak boleh tidur. Belakang ingat the one in black shirt. Okay, I take you 3. Last one, okay. Pendek-pendek tau.
Pendek.
Jangan panjang. Jangan carahan pula.
Sorry, Dano daripada UM.
Okay.
Saya rasa what we've been talking and not saying it actually is about broken links. So broken link. Okay. For example, kita train students for the industry, tapi there's a link. By the time our students come out from IPTA, the industry doesn't want us anymore, our students, because the curriculum is already different by then. Okay, that's one. And the other one, there is a broken link between what we are doing at the university level and at the school level. When they come to us, okay, they do not, well, I have to say, reach some of the expectations that we have. For example, English language, they're not there. So what we do at the university is remedial English, and we should be teaching them more for English for academic purposes, and not remedial English. That's another one. The other one is we are so into scores and paper chase, but there is a broken link. Why do we say that our students, the first person who spoke up just now, was saying kenapa students kita ni perangai dia dah lain, bukan macam dulu. There is a broken link because we are so focused on getting them the paper qualifications. We forget about the humanities, the social sciences, the language, the culture that we all belong. That language and culture and humanities actually is encouched in every our lives. Okay, everything that we do, whether it's science or technology, the humanities part must be there. So betul, liberal studies that UKM is doing is what we went through in the States. We took 1/3 of our credit hours to do courses like humanities. I even read the Bible. Okay, and then this is where we did anthropology, choose anything. So it brings the student, walaupun dia nak buat physics or dia nak buat computer science, at least the basic ground tu dia dah dapat. The overall picture is already there. So what I see, if you are talking about 2050, is to fix the the broken links that we have now. Okay? I think we do see the broken links, but we are not addressing it well.
Okay.
Itu je lah. Thank you.
You fix it lah. You're from university.
We will. Give us. Okay. The other.
The Senate will fix it. Curriculum you tukar lah.
The other broken link is.
I cannot tell you what is needed in the industry. You should
right.
know better. Okay.
So the other broken link is.
Ada lagi, tambah lagi pula
Satu
ada.
je.
Okay.
Since you mentioned, Dato Seri, you mentioned, IPTA would like to get our curriculum changed as fast as IPTS. That is a broken link. We take so long to get our new curriculum coming out, but IPTS can just soar up. And they can change the curriculum, very quick, and that's where the students are going.
I thought you are allowed to change 30% of your curriculum.
It takes such a long process. It takes such a long process. It goes to several levels at the university level.
Oh, university lah tu.
Itulah.
You tell your ni, VC lah.
But universities will tell us, it is required. Itu je lah. So this is, after 25 years of teaching, I wish that changes.
If your VC is not responding, let me know, okay?
He's doing a good job.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, fix a broken link, a simple answer, fix a broken link in the universities. Yang gap between schools and universities, I think you have 4 years with them. Do the best that you can do. Kalau kita blame orang tak bagus juga lah. Lan? Okay. Okay,
Okay,
situ
Dato'
lagi.
Sri.
Okay. Oh, dah
Okay,
habis.
Assalamualaikum, Dato' Sri.
The last one, the one in black. Okay. And rest. Okay, that's it.
Okay, Assalamualaikum Datuk Seri. Minta maaf lah. Saya datang dengan keinginan yang untuk mengetahui sebenarnya apa itu Transformasi Nasional 2050.
Okay.
Saya berkobar-kobar untuk tahu. Tetapi sebab saya tak tahu apa learning outcome dan sebagainya program ni diadakan.
Okay.
Tetapi
learning outcome. Oh.
Ya, sebab itu cara kita
Ini pada UC mana?
UPM.
Hah?
UPM.
UTM. Oh,
UPM.
Bagus. UPM. Oh, bagus lah. Very good. Your lecturers talk about learning outcomes.
Jadi
Very good.
saya datang untuk mengetahui sebenarnya apa aspirasi kerajaan terhadap universiti untuk kami sebenarnya memberi sumbangan kepada pelaksanaan transformasi nasional 2050. Itu sebenarnya tujuan saya untuk mengetahui dengan lebih baik. Tetapi di awalnya seolah-olah Datuk Seri mengatakan kita tidak ada sesi dialog kan. Jadi saya masih lagi tertanya-tanya bagaimana, apakah sumbangan yang kami perlu lakukan, adakah sesuatu benda yang baru, sebab berdasarkan kepada perbincangan kita malam ini seolah-olah saya rasa kita masih membincangkan tentang isu akademik, isu pendidikan yang memang menjadi permasalahan kita sehari-harian. So itu saja persoalan saya.
You're quite right.
Terima kasih.
Because when I see academicians, I thought they know what the 2050 is going to be. Some of you give quite a good assumption what 2050 is all about. It is a bottom up. When we do this, it's more of bottom up. You telling us what you think 2050 is going to be, and rather than if I know everything, I don't need you all. I don't have to come here spend my 2 hours, 3 hours here. Datang tadi pukul 7.45, balik pukul 11.12. I mean, it's for me to get the input from you rather than telling you what to do. Actually, that's what it's all about. To tell the government, that's why Johan is here to listen. Dia pun datang dengar dengan tie dia semua tu dia pegawai kerajaan kena name tag semua. You make a good government officer. Okay, sila seorang lagi, the one in black. Okay.
Okay, Assalamualaikum Datuk Seri.
Oh, you first. I thought. Oh, you robbed the microphone first. Okay. Okay.
My name is Samsuzana from UPM, CEO at Faculty Program Candidates. I just would like to share my vision. If I ever give a chance to lead the higher institution in Malaysia, I would set the target to produce world-class leaders instead of, to produce graduates that's being employed, instead of just producing workers. So if we set the targets to produce world-class leaders, then all others will come along, like the way we hire them. The way we get the students into the universities, we're not just looking into the exam and test, but we also look into the values that they have. So just that I want to share. Thank you.
Okay, terima kasih. Okay.
Alang-alang lalu saya.
Pula dah, you tak ada nama ni.
Small point. Because tadi yang tell about point yang kita ada broken links kan. I think kalau macam kita nak increase, nak gap, to cover that gap yang ada broken links tu, why don't we have mobility of lecturers to go to even to sekolah? So nanti it will based on the orange book, kita ada yang untuk lecturers yang untuk mengajar saja tu. Why don't kita bagi peluang?
Boleh kan? We can go to schools kan?
Yeah. We have school at UKM program.
Boleh. You want to go to school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm from UPNM.
Okay.
Kita tak ada lah program macam tu kan.
Askar. Yang ada masalah boleh sikit kan? Okay, tak. Okay, tak apalah. Okay, sila.
Assalamualaikum Dato' Seri.
Okay.
Saya Fakrul daripada UPM.
Okay.
Mikrofon.
Tadi awal-awal bertanya pasal harapan. So saya berharap yang universiti akan jadi one of the garage of Steve Jobs ataupun Michael Dell or even Mark Zuckerberg.
Okay.
In the history kita dah nampak yang kebanyakan teknologi company yang berjaya, mereka datang in pair, di mana dia ada smart, street smart people bergabung dengan book smart people. So book smart people typically yang excel in grade, while street smart people basically dia ada intuition, dia ada vision, dia ada common sense yang dia boleh bring technology forward. So saya nak echo balik Dr. Alani dan juga Dr. Emma tadi bercakap pasal welcoming people. Saya nampak mungkin kita boleh create a platform that we welcome street smart people yang typically left out from the university untuk masuk.
But who are successful lah, yang tak successful jangan pula dengan kepak.
Typically kita
Pak
nampak
Wan
Steve
pergi
Jobs.
jalan tu kan susah lah.
Steve Jobs dibuang daripada university.
But he's successful.
He's successful.
But his
And
son
Mark
is
Zuckerberg.
spoiled because he give 500, tip to the waitress. He give only 5.
Exactly. So saya berharapkan yang kita ada platform yang kita boleh welcome the street smart people to work together to build garage of another garage of Steve Jobs di universiti di Malaysia. Itu saja.
Please do it. Buat lah.
InsyaAllah Azri.
Okay, you buat dulu tengok. Okay.
InsyaAllah.
Okay, and thank you very much. Enjoyed listening and being with all of you, smart people here. Ingat, Johan, say.
When I say YB,
Yeah.
actually it's quite scary for me as being quite a simple person, having to be in a lecture hall trying to speak to a room full of professional teachers and lecturers.
They are quite simple lecturers, don't worry.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Maybe first I will just introduce, my name is Johan, for the introduce. No, I'm from EPU and I'm tasked to head a unit on TN50. Most of you may be aware that TN50 was first started by KBS in terms of engaging the youth, but Cabinet then decided that the youth cannot alone be, to be relied on in determining the future. The future depends on all people, and clearly, all segments. The future of Malaysia belongs to all Malaysians. But I would like to emphasize that the higher education segment is probably one of the very most important segments. In fact,
Not the most important.
Okay. When I was to demonstrate that,
with them you say words.
When I first got this assignment, actually, YB, Dr. Sri Idris was the first minister I actually reached out to. Not just because I think he's very future-oriented, but also in terms of the significance of the higher education. I think some questions were asked in terms of what are the expectations of government to the higher education sector. And I put it down, one, obviously, because higher education is a key enabler for our future. But I also think, as academics of this country, you're also both, I guess, hold the brain power and conscience for the nation. And let me just elaborate that on a bit. I think first, in terms of enabler, I think lots have spoken about education, and clearly education is so important for the future of a nation. And we face lots of challenges. And I think some of it that comes out is that on one hand, there's a lot of pressures to teach our youth specific skills in order to make them employable. But at the same time, how do you also ensure that they're flexible given the changing job structures and future jobs are not need to also be flexible? So how do you manage some of those challenges and ensure they also are wholesome individuals? And education is a topic we can talk about forever, and that means dominated tonight. But beyond education as an enabler, I think we also need the wisdom and knowledge of the educationists in terms of both the objective and strategy for the nation. And what I mean by objective, Yang Mohamad Prime Minister has spoken about wanting Malaysia to be a top 20 nation in the world menjelang 2050. And what way are we going to be top 20? Is it just economics? Obviously not, because we wanted to just be a rich country, we just basically take all the oil out of the ground and we'll be immediately top 20 richest country in the world. Obviously, a lot of people have spoken about the importance of values. And so how do we balance in terms of, from what we get in terms of aspiration from the people, how do we balance that into formulating what would be the right aspiration or objective function, if you could call it that, for the nation? And to that, I imagine there'll be many within the higher education fraternity and the academic institutions who can then help in terms of EPU, in terms of formulating what should then be appropriate objective function for the nation if we want to be top 20 in what? And then beyond the aspirations of objective function, then what would be the strategy? And I think we've heard a bit earlier about moonshots. And I think the importance of moonshots is that I think all of you universities, I think, have felt the pain of tak cukup peruntukan. I think every one of us feel. But actually, if you look at Malaysia as a country, we have like an annual budget of 300 billion on an economy of 1.5 trillion. So it's 20% of our economy is driven by government, which is actually very large compared to many other countries. So the issue is actually not that we are a poor nation. Actually, we have a lot of resources. I think the issue is that we're trying to spread ourselves too thinly. And I think that applies in terms of economic sectors. We're trying to support so many economic sectors that we're not global champions of any. And the same thing probably applies to R&D as well. we may all love football, but we're not likely to be winning the World Cup in 2050. But perhaps in areas like badminton,
how do you know? How do you know?
badminton or diving or squash,
And
you
then
know, we will be
roaring.
okay, we can be global champions. So I guess one of the issues that we reach out, I guess, in terms of the wisdom and knowledge of the higher education segment, academics, is if we had to focus our resources and our limited resources to really focus on where can we win, because we're going to be top 20 nation in the world, we need to be probably number one in the world in certain niche areas. And what would those areas be? And that perhaps is again another question that EPU hopes to be engaging with the higher education fraternity to answer some of these questions. Because one is a question from a, shall we say, brain. So we put aside our sentimentality, our love for football. What is those areas that perhaps we can win the I don't know, the economic or country equivalent of badminton for the nation development? One is from a very logical point of view.
I'm playing with Nicole David.
So one is the logical point of view. But the other one
I'm
is...
doing quite well now.
Like the American moonshot, you know, when Kennedy announced bringing a man to the moon. Actually, US was a very divided nation at that time. But clearly it was an aspiration that unified the country. And perhaps it's a combination of brain and emotions. And what will be that which we can all rally around together, where we can, as Malaysia, fulfill our true potential and win at the global stage and rally the entire nation towards that. And so these are, I think, core questions. Again, the question is what expectations of a government on the higher education institutions is not just in terms of articulating what is the future of education as an enabler, but really as the brainpower and conscience of the nation to help the government, country articulate what would then be the key objective function and strategy for the country to pursue in order to achieve the success I think it truly deserves as a great nation.
Okay, thank you, Johan. Thank you for being here tonight. Actually, Johan has been very cooperative, very understanding in what we're doing in this Ministry of Education. But coming from the School of Economics and coming from EPU, he was talking about limited resources. I want to bring you to another dimension of abundance of resources. But we're not tapping the real resources that we have, the empire of our brain. No? I would like to bring to another dimension how things should be looked at rather than looking at the perspective for limited resources. These are the old microeconomic books we've been doing in Economic 101. Probably if we look in the context of abundance of resources, I don't know Adlan is going to agree with me or not. He's another economic guy, you know. So say your last few words before we close for tonight.
Well, I mean, what we learned in the first page of economics, I mean, first chapter is about unlimited wants, limited resources. Actually, it is wrong.
Okay, setuju. Salam. Setuju, okay.
Because we always envision that resources are limited. But actually, every alternate day, there are new resources that we end up, only that we do not know. Right. It is a resources. And wants also, actually, there's a limit to it. I mean, it is naturally, actually, there is no such thing as unlimited wants. At certain points, if you fill up that wants, I think you'll die.
And in Economics 101, you learn that when supply curve means demand curve is a point of equilibrium, assuming all the others are the same.
That's it. I just want to put my notes. Never mind, we can continue the debate over WhatsApp. Bagi saya, one thing that if we could remember tonight is that TN50 is not 30 years down the line. It is tomorrow. It is tomorrow. Over blink of eyes, Vision 2020 is coming to its end. Can you imagine that when we first start dengar wawasan 2020 and suddenly it is only 3 years down the line. Pretty much actually by now you know already whether you are there or not. Nothing much magic that you can do. For a nation it is more than a Titanic. If you want to shift, you have to shift now. And saya very proud, I mean me as well being quite younger generation juga lah. You know, I mean, many of us voice out a lot of ideas.
What do you mean by you being young?
Young, let's say. I'm very young. I'm relatively young. Alhamdulillah. But bila saya dengar banyak ideas, a lot of beautiful ideas, terms, terminologies and so on, I believe the next question, probably the next morning when we wake up, we have to ask, what are we going to do with it? We all give problems, we all give ideas, but we need to put a little bit more about what that we can do. We can ask minister, we can ask government, we can ask vice chancellors, but the truth is actually, tak tahulah, saya dengan Datin Paduka, at least as a vice chancellor, there's nothing that we prevent Akademik to do. Dan saya can really endorse that Kementerian Pengajian Tinggi pun tak pernah menghalang apa-apa pun kita nak buat. When people talk about autonomy, minta maaf to say, I mean sometimes there's a platform discussing about it. As though as everything is actually we have to fill up forms and ask permission. Actually, tak tahulah, I'm in the office of Vice Chancellor for about 4 years. Tak pernah sekali pun yang saya dengar Datuk Seri, Tan Sri KSU, Datin Paduka KP kata jangan buat. So just do it. Go ahead and do it. I mean, be brave to explore new things. Challenge the convention. Remove pondok jaga if you want. I mean, all broken links and all great ideas. Students are working on campus. Macam-macam lah tadi yang kita dengar. Just do it. And to me, TN50 start maybe now, or the least is that it will be there tomorrow. It is our country, and I think kita, the university, have a lot of role in shaping this TN50, be it young or not young, it doesn't matter, but this nation is our nation. Trust me, we will gather back in this room, and suddenly we will say that TN50 is another 3 years to reach. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity of being here.
Okay, terima kasih. Well said and done by Johan and by co-pilot. Actually, sebenarnya very happy to hear all the suggestions, ideas we get tonight from all of you. This is only because Johan provoked me, sent me a letter asking me when is next. Jahat ni Johan. Tak bagi kita tidur malam. Send me a letter report what I'm going to do with this meeting with the academicians. So that's why we're here today. And it's good to have views from you all. And also good for you to know what's happening in campus, as what you said, Azlan is saying. There's a lot of room for you. How you bridge it, But probably some universities do it differently. But of course, we are very open to your suggestions. We are very open to what you want to do. Because I'm the one who has been saying, right, 4 years ago when I get into the ministries, universities are going to be irrelevant unless we change. Tonight we talk about how we move forward to TN50. So all the best to all of you. And I do believe we are soaring upwards. We're in the right path. We are in the right trajectory. Of course, there are things that we have to kind of fix here and there. But okay, Abi, you think we are on the right track? Okay, terima kasih semua. Thank you for all of you. And I cannot go home without hearing your soaring upwards. Soaring upwards. Soaring upwards. Soaring upwards. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum and a very good night.
Majlis dengan ini merakamkan ucapan terima kasih kepada Yang Berhormat Dato Seri Idris Jusoh dan Yang Berbahagia Profesor Dato Seri Nur Azlan Ghazali untuk sesi dialog TN50 sebentar tadi. Hadirin sekalian, ucapan-ucapan sebentar itu tadi telah mengakhiri program kita pada malam ini. Majlis merakamkan ucapan terima kasih kepada semua yang hadir. Akhir kata, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.